So without further ado, let's begin. Let me share my screen. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah, how to achieve a six-figure income as a NIS2 consultant leveraging AI and automation. So this is like something that I actually didn't even put in my announcement. The main idea is AI and automation. What's been happening in the last few years is we have seen billion-dollar companies spawning out of like a team of 10 people. This is unprecedented 5 years ago. In the history of time, this is unprecedented. What we have seen is like companies like Klarna reducing their manpower by 30%, yet doubled their productivity. So I suspect that an individual consultant is not as an individual consultant as it used to be before. An individual consultant making six figure is kind of like a no-brainer now, and that's the thesis of today's talk. Last time I introduced this to a little bit the technical part. Today we're not going to go there. We're going to go what is the market size today? How can we leverage technologies like AI, and how can we as a single person without taking any risk at all, forming without any team, how can I even make more money than a team? So a traditional consulting company with about 10 people making 1 million, they could hardly make 100, 150, 200,000 profit per year. But here I'm talking about one single consultant hitting six figure, and six figure doesn't have to be 100,000, can be, higher six figure, 200, 300,000. So that's the thesis of the talk. So let's get into it. At any time, if you have any question, please stop me at any time. So here I want to highlight a little bit about my journey. And I also want to highlight the mistakes that I've made and the things that I've learned and why is it working for me and why it's going to work for you. So I've been working in cybersecurity since 2004. I started with Fraunhofer Institute of Secure Information Technology, and cybersecurity has been a thing for me, and then moved to automotive cybersecurity after my PhD in 2012, and working in automotive and cybersecurity since the last 20 years. I have built multiple business across cybersecurity, automotive compliance, and work with OEMs and tier one suppliers. That's been my background. Also in teaching and mentoring, I have trained more than 5,000 professionals in safety and security. That's my background. Now, the mistakes that I have made in my journey, in my entrepreneurial journey, is I was always thinking as a consultant, how many people, I was setting my goal that I want to get to 100 people company, a 200 people company. That was mistake number one because people means you're actually increasing your cost. You're dramatically increasing your cost, not necessarily your profit. That was mistake number one. Mistake number two is I started with social media in 2014, which was kind of late. If I could do everything from the beginning one more time, what I would do is I would start documenting and putting everything that I do in the internet from day one, because that's super powerful. Now, with all those lessons learned in end of 2022, when the Gen AI started taking off, I decided that's it. This is the end of kind of the things that we do. What we do is we build issues, do the works for safety, security, and leaving training aside, other than the training business. Our business was to build, engineering services and consulting. I immediately realized, hey, everything will be done by AI and AI will do a better job. And that's been my journey since the last 2.5 years, implementing AI so that, I don't need 100 people team. I can work with a 5 people team and be that productive. Okay, that's really far fetched, but that's going to happen anyway. So this is what I've learned, and I'm going to give you my formula to you. I mean, we definitely is going to talk about my mastermind program. Even if you do not join my mastermind program, what I promise you is after this masterclass, the formula that I will be presenting to you, if you can implement them on your own and easily scale to a six-figure consulting engagement. And it can be multiple six-figure, like at the higher end. So that's the idea. Again, if there's anything you want to ask me at any point, please stop and raise your hands or text me or just speak up. So let's go to NIS just for the sake of it. There's anyone who are not familiar with NIS. NIS2 is a European directive. So European directives are something that is a legal necessity. It's a compliance necessity. Everybody will have to comply to that. And the opportunity that I'm going to talk about is the AI bit on top of it. Now, let's look at the market a little more. NIS2 directive, again, to sum it up, it's a cybersecurity requirement. And in my experience, the most stringent legal requirement for cybersecurity in the face of Earth. Nobody has seen anything like this. It's way more than SOC 2, ISO 27001, TISA. Of course, those things are going to help because those things are a subset of NIS2, but it's much more than that. Now, it's a legal requirement, right? So number of companies that are affected in EU is approximately 160,000. In Germany, it's going to be 25,000 to 40,000 companies. And what's interesting is the industries like food and beverage and all those, that means a manufacturing company that manufactures beverage will have to comply to that. So these people have not thought about cybersecurity the way we think about cybersecurity, or way maybe a technology company had to think about cybersecurity. So they certainly lack internal expertise, and urgently they need consultants. Non-compliance means millions of fines. So people will be, we were waiting for the German election in Germany because things are going to move very fast once we have a stable government, and people are going to seek for help. Now, there's this three-part of this whole NIS2 consulting. Number one is you have to learn NIS2, so you have to have the technical expertise. And we have an AI-driven learning solution for AI NIS2. Here's the thing we have to understand. We have technologies like an LLM, which knows way better than any consultant you can ever think of. That's just given. On the other hand, if you fine tune or adjust a little bit with your data, it's just unbeatable. We have seen that. I've seen that implementing this for Fortune 500 clients in the automotive industry. OEMs have implemented it for them. And we have seen that, hey, we don't need external experts. AI can answer anything. Of course, AI hallucinates. That's why it's still in security and safety. It's not a standalone thing. It's a co-pilot, but it can really be the expert. So you have the expert. The knowledge you need for that, you have AI. The second thing you need is the client acquisition, like Max was talking about it right from the beginning. You can be the super expert in the world, but if you do not have the client, it doesn't matter. So what we are going to talk about is also AI-based marketing and client acquisition. And again, the word AI is coming again and again. That's the idea. AI is making things extremely efficient. We will show you how to build a fully automated system that you don't have to spend much time, that can work in 2020, I had 2 full-time employees for this. What I'm going to show that AI will do. Actually, more than that. If you also think about the copywriter, the freelancers, all the 2 full-time employees, fixed employees, and then we had freelancers like copywriter, graphics guy, and all those. So all these things will be automated. Finally, execution. When you want to deliver, if you can show the customer, hey, you will save money. Traditionally, if you implement it traditionally, you will need 200,000. But if you take our AI-powered solution, it's going to be 20,000. Nobody's going to say no to that. So these 3 things will make you invincible. The success will come to you if you just follow the formula. All right. So let's have a look. So let's talk about the part 1. What is our formula to learn with AI? So traditional learning methods are slow, and inefficient, and they are outdated. So AI tools will rapidly get you things that you need. It will automate and give you compliance checklists and all those, and it will be able to act as a co-pilot when you will be talking to clients. Some knowledges and all those that will be all on the fly they can generate. So the learning procedure that we will give you with AI, that's just going to accelerate your learning. You can learn way faster using AI.
Okay, sorry, one little
Yes.
thing, if I may. Yeah, so far as we can see, it's used everywhere, mostly everywhere. But the thing is, it turned out that some cases, or in general, the outcome or the answers of AI needs somehow to be counter-checked. So you cannot 100% rely that everything is correct returned or
100%. It's 100%. And thank you so much for asking this question. And it's a very important question. The AI is a probabilistic model. By definition of it, it's going to time hallucinate. There is no question about it. Now, how to verify that, how to fact check that, this is a very important one because AI can never be 100% trusted. And there are many ways to do that. One way is the way we use is we have our internal knowledge base, which is called in AI, uh, retrieval augmented generation, RAG. So we have our RAG system, which are like the ground truth. These are facts. These are not hallucinated. And we fact check AI generated answers against that. So there are solutions to that. You're 100% right. There are many ways that you can do this, but I must say, with the advent of AI, the hallucination that we have seen in 2023, late 2022, and the hallucination that we are seeing now with proper RAG and everything, proper context, is becoming almost insignificant. But again, in safety and security, AI is not yet a standalone solution. Also in learning, it's not a standalone solution because there is a slight chance of hallucinating. So does that answer your question?
in the most part, of course. And if during the last half year or the last couple of months, it turned out that very, very smart AI systems actually, meanwhile, they're pretending something just to hide something else. And that is a new scope. Yeah, that is a dangerous thing. Yeah, so it's not just as it used to be a year ago, 2 years ago. Now they learned to pretend something which is not almost true, and that's why
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
stressing the point of counter checking. Sorry.
Absolutely. I'm double stressing the point of counter checking. Counter checking is super important. Sometimes we check against two LLMs. We let one LLM to review the other LLM's output, and that's interesting. I mean, this is a very interesting landscape. Nevertheless, AI can boost your productivity and learning so much that it's unprecedented. But you have to have the guardrail, and you have to counter check. There's no question about it. Now let's look at the tools. The NLP tools, to summarize, that's the very easy thing. AI-based compliance checklists, regulatory monitoring system, AI-driven training modules, self-paced, interactive, asking questions. So this is the learning part. So taking help of AI for learning. Now, let me give you a concrete roadmap for this. If you're an absolute beginner and you want to learn NIS2, then you take three different LLM models. You don't take one for counter checking. You take three different LLM models. You take probably OpenAI's GPT-4, then you take Claude, and then you take probably DeepSeek or Llama, what have you. So you take at least three, and you ask, tell all those three uh, and you give different roles to those. The first one will be your trainer. You tell that you will be the trainer. The second two or one will be the fact checker. The third one would be, kind of like interactive. Like you ask certain questions that allow it to ask you questions and you answer so that you validate your knowledge. So you're assigning roles to three different AIs, three different models, which were point you mentioned that it's pretending something. So these three will have three different biases, but when you will mix them, when you make a hybrid environment of learning, then it will be already a lot of fact check, and then you always counter check. Most of the thing, if there is anything there's a mismatch between the two between the two or three models, then you always counter check that. So that's how you can start learning your AI things. Or you can come to our platform where everything has been already been vetted, but that's not necessary. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna definitely make an offer in the end, but that's not necessary. You can do it on your own. If you listen to this formula, you'll be able to learn on your own. Now it's the part two. The first part we just talked about is expertise. The expertise is just the commodities. It has the lowest value in the value chain right now because of AI. The expertise is really the lowest value, but your experience is not. So that's another thing. So you have to demonstrate your experience as well. The second one is, how do you find the customer, client acquisition? This is where there is a lot of value. Now, let me tell you this. Like I said, there are three things I wish I did differently when I was talking about myself. One of them was, starting to put content earlier. Okay, at least I started in 2014, so I created a large enough audience that whenever I go to a meeting, I usually have a leverage. They already know what I do. So that's what I want you to do. If you want to find a client, the best way is let the client find you. That means content, content, content. And I'm going to show you how can you leverage AI generated content. You can also use other people's content. There are many strategies. I'm going to give you those strategies. So here, point that I'm trying to make, the most consultants, they fail, they don't think about marketing. They just look for one client. When we're done, look for another client. When we're done, look for another client. This is like freelancing business. Hey, please forget about that freelancing attitude. Even if you're just one person can do as much as 10 people today because of AI, the things that I'm going to show you today. So you pretend that hey, I want to be like a small company, although I'm on my own, and you start producing content. Content creation is number one. You can use AI powered, or AI powered. You definitely need to use AI all end. But what I want you to do also, if you feel comfortable, there's several kinds of content, right? There's like video content, there is audio content, there's text content. If you're comfortable in front of a camera, just get in front of a camera and do something. Yeah. If you're not in front of comfortable with the camera, do audio. If you're not also comfortable with audio, at least create text. And in all of these three, I'll tell you that you can use automation. I'm going to show you some of my content, and it's like my most viewed content in LinkedIn is fully AI made. I'm going to show that to you in a bit. My contents, my videos, like since I really serve a niche audience, usually the highest number of views I've seen is like 35,000, 40,000, 50,000 max. That's the highest number of views I've seen. This single piece of content in LinkedIn got about 2 million impressions. 2 million. And this was 100% AI made. My video avatar was taken. The text was also generated by AI. And then my took 11 lab where my voice is also cloned, and we publish the content. So you can automate also your own avatar. If you don't want to, you can also use some other fictitious avatar, because AI, those will be AI influencers. We also have tried some AI influencers. They are amazing. They're better than us, because when we create something, we create the perfect persona for the entire industry, and everybody likes that. So you can do that too. You can do the same in based content. Now you may ask, hey, those are not really my style of writing. The way I do it is for the first prompt I tell AI that please find all the peer-reviewed paper and publications of Dr. Hasan Ibne Akram in the internet, list them. So I do it including a search. So it lists all my publications. Then I tell it, analyze the writing style of this gentleman and give me the 10 criteria how he writes. And it gives me the 10 criteria. Then I say, okay, I want you to write in his style using these criteria, and remember the mode, writing in Dr. Hasan mode. And whenever I tell you to write in Dr. Hasan mode, you use those criteria, and it gives me writing in my own style, and it's
That's hilarious.
and
Yes.
it works. So this is how you can really create your own avatar. I'm going to show some of those. That's just going to make you laugh like it did. So that's content creation. Then automated outreach. We're going to show you how to automate the whole outreach, how to reach 200 to 300 people in LinkedIn and everywhere automatically, an autopilot, answer them in autopilot. They're, again, AI and automation. People are these days mixing AI and automation. Automation has been there with us for 30, 40 years or more. AI is the probabilistic, a bit, the generative bit. And if you combine those two, I mean, you're unstoppable. You can use also AI to do lead qualification and marketing. So three things. You want people to know you, what you're doing. You want to reach out to people, and you only want to give your time to qualified leads. If there is some student from Turkey trying to get a master's thesis or an internship application with you, you probably low prioritize it versus some company who are really hungry for a NIS2 consultant. So you use AI again for lead qualifications so that when you're in the call, there's a high chance that you're going to close this. You're going to make the deal happen. So this is for the marketing bit. So we've seen this three parts. The first part was to learn, becoming an expert. We have shown you the AI driven formula. Part two, how do you execute it? Again, surprise, surprise, we're going to talk about AI again here. But before that, I mean, let me some of those. We have LinkedIn automation tool, AI copywriting tool, AI video tools, AI powered CRM, and all those. We're going to give you a list in the end. So let's go to the part three, execution. So a lot of consultants struggle with the execution. They work a lot. They probably work on the basis of hours. They burn out, inefficiencies, and all those. Goodbye to all of these. What you can do now, you can automate a lot of these things that needed months to do. You can do it in days. Again, I'm still talking about in 2025 a co-pilot because of the very same reason Max have time to time pointed out, that is the hallucination bit. So although it has been really, really good, really, really good in terms of hallucination, the hallucination is going to a point it's almost negligible in many of the work. But again, we have to be careful. And there are techniques that we have set up in Matrickz, like I told you about the RAG, knowledge base, and all those, so that we can minimize this. But still, it's a probabilistic model, so it's a co-pilot. You're going to review each and every artifact. You, as a consultant, are responsible for all the artifact that you will create. In the end, if there is a mistake, you can't say, oh, this was because of AI. No, the legality does not allow you to do that. You will still be responsible. So AI can automate compliance reports, security assessment, and risk analysis. We can also do real-time risk monitoring with AI dashboards. And of course, in project management, you can use AI too. So we will also do the execution with AI. Now, I must say the first two part anybody can do on their own. The part three you can also do on your own, but it's a bit challenging. It's a bit challenging for two reasons. When you have the customer's data and you're using OpenAI, you're using Claude, you're using DeepSeek, you just can't do that because you're giving the data to a third party. Your NDA will not allow you to do that. So here you will have to do some homework. Like Llama, the open source models are amazing for such situation. We use open source model within our premise, within our private cloud, so that the NDAs are not violated. That's challenge number one. Challenge number two is it's not straightforward. There are some engineering needs to be done on that part. And, I'm going to give you a formula how to do it, but this is going to be a bit challenging. Or, you have our solution. You're more than welcome to use our solution as well. So this is the part three. And here the the things that we have created a streamlined assessment and reporting tool, automotive specific, but we want where AI driven vulnerability identification, proactive threat detection, and all those.
Sorry, one
Yeah,
question, please.
yeah.
So did I did this correct that the AI power tools are more or less usable within the firewall or the cloud and not exposing the customer data to the public? Is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you send a query to ChatGPT uses your query to further train. They keep all the data. But if you download an open source model like Llama, DeepSeek is a question mark, although it's open source. I'm coming to that. But Llama or Mistral, and run it either in your bare metal, which is in your office, or within your private cloud, then the data does not go anywhere. You have full control over the data, and hence you're compliant. Now,
Okay. So yeah, sorry. That means you need to get a license. I just think about DeepL translation software, companies buying an internal app. So because you can't use the web version, but that means you need to buy the license. Is that similar?
I do not aware of the DIPL licensing system, but it is in a sense that you don't even buy any license. Open source LLMs are accessible for anyone. The licenses, like they have like MIT open source license, or those
Okay.
licenses are
Yeah.
you can modify, you can do anything with that.
Okay.
Now,
And then
I
you can.
want to
Sorry.
give you a warning about DeepSeek before I take the next question, because DeepSeek, although it's open source, it has been tested on multiple cases. They've been able to reproduce the same thing, that DeepSeek is sending data to London and somewhere in China, although it's open source, although it's running in your premise. So be careful with DeepSeek. Llama, no problem. Mistral, no problem. Yeah, you had a next question, Max.
No, that was answered. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that was the internal. Okay, it's possible to not the customer data. This is also provided by your organization. Is that right?
Yes, in our organization, we have already done such environment. We're actually still working on it. We're doing it for a particular OEM. They're paying us to do this. We're doing it in our environment too, within their environment. But we have all these things that we can do. We're coming to that in a bit.
Okay. And the other thing that was kind of you still have to use your brain to think. So the human cannot be replaced because we still have complex workflows and we are responsible and we have to sign contracts and so on. So we only try to give AI the workhorse, but we still
Yes,
have to
we
test. Yeah.
accelerate ourselves with AI. We empower ourselves with AI. AI
Yeah.
cannot do anything on its own till today. All
Thanks.
right. Perfect. Then we have just talked about the three parts. Again, I'm summing it up. The first part is learning. You can do it with AI much faster and super efficient. The second is marketing. AI is going to help you. Execution, AI is going to help you. So these three driven parts. Now let me talk about a case study. Yep, there is a solo consultant who have reduced 70% of his workload, and he went to higher earning and tripled his revenue. You know, so I've been him. He wants to keep his name anonymous, so I will keep it anonymous. I'll respect that, but I've been mentoring him, and he had tremendous success. He wants to stay solo because whenever you are hiring, you have a lot of headache. And with solo, you don't. I mean, with machines, with softwares, you don't have as much headache you'll have with your manpower, right? So that's the thing he wants to do. So he has his clients more efficiently, with less time, with higher earning. That's the idea. Now, let's look at the potential. You know, the ticket size is usually 50 to 200K, but I have written to 20,000 to 200K because there will be some companies, smaller companies, who would probably want to start with a small geek. So the ticket size is 220,000 for compliance audit, not only compliance audit, compliance, gap analysis, and all those. So for each client, that's your ticket size. You can even go for monthly subscription with a client. Hey, I'm gonna a lot of monitoring for you and reporting for you, 1,000 to 2,000 per month, monthly recurring revenue. And training is also a mandatory part, 10,000 per sessions or something you can charge on these. This is kind of a geek that you will be offering to your clients. And these are all AI powered. Yeah. So that's the idea. Let's keep looking. So the whole AI market is projected to be 64.3 billion, right? And the consulting business is 15 billion pounds. This is somehow in pound because that's the source of it by 2025. So it's a huge market. Total addressable market just for NIS consulting, just for NIS consulting. That was for entire AI is 16 billion in EU. Assuming that 50% of the companies will seek external consulting, which is not true. I think much more will seek external consulting. This consulting market is 8 billion euro EU wide. And estimated compliance spending is 100,000 per organization. And again, I think these are very conservative estimate. In my opinion, this expenditure will be more than 100,000. So we're talking about 160,000 companies in EU, 25 to 40,000 alone in Germany. So in Germany, the market is 1.2 to 2 billion. This is a market that is there. It's just like it's going to explode pretty soon because a lot of companies, all my clients, not the really top tier ones, but all my smaller mid-size, they haven't even started anything with NIS2. They just fill the checkbox when the OEM says, hey, if you don't have TZAX, you don't get this project. If you don't have 27,001, you don't get this project. And then they, hurry and get certified. So since this is not there yet, they're not even thinking about it. So it's really the right time. Some people think it's late. I don't think it's late. This is the right time. So that's the total addressable market. Now let's talk about why, and including, I have already started with my mistakes that I have done, and I could talk about 10 other mistakes that I've done because, I come from technical background. I'm a computer scientist. I loved what I do. The thing, nobody cares about computer science. Nobody cares about AI. Nobody cares about cybersecurity. Nobody cares about NIS2. Your customer care about what is the thing that you have to come up with, and that's why let's see the mistakes usually we make as technical guys. We focus too much on technicality, on the technical aspect, ignoring what customer wants. What NIS2 customer wants is simple. They want to have no hassle with the government. That's it. That's what all they want. They do not care about my fancy solution, whether it's AI based, whether it's cybersecurity secure solution. They don't care about that, and they spend as little money as possible. That's the second thing they care about. The third thing they care about is they want it fast. So legal compliance, as little money as possible, and fast. These are the three things they care about. We have to keep that in mind. It doesn't matter if my solution is AI, if my solution is fully automated, super secure, it doesn't matter. So we have to focus on these three things. How can I make clients save money? How can I deliver it fast? And how can I make sure that you're fully legally compliant? The second thing is a lot of people jump with insufficient learning. They spend in the traditional route and certifications and all those. You may need certification. Certification can sometimes help you, enter the first client. And I don't have anything against certification, but that much of learning is not necessary. You have all the knowledge at your fingertip because of AI. And if you can put with the AI like we did, it's an infinite knowledge box. It's the most experienced colleague of ours. Then the third thing they do, they don't automate. I mean, I think the third point is they don't even go for lead generation. What most freelancers do, they finish a project and they start looking for another project. They don't really a lead generation system. And it's okay because they were so far a one-person freelancer is a one-person freelancer. The definition just changed. One person can do much more. And I want you to take the advantage of that. Finally, the scaling issue, they can't scale because of the manual work. They just sell their hours. And here's the idea. Don't sell your hours, sell the solution, the result, and you can scale. So that's the that's the typical mistakes by expert, and they get stuck with low income, overload, and underpaid. That's the main problem. So I have already given you a framework that you can work on, and I'm going to summarize the framework. Leverage AI to learn. 3 different AIs to cross check and leverage AI to learn. Second, leverage AI to create content and do the marketing, to do the outreach. And finally, also use AI to execute. You'll be invincible. Now, here is one thing that I'm going to start, as I promised in the last program, and we're cooking this in our lab, an amazing program. You can actually do it on your own if you spend enough time without this program, but I'm going to offer this program anyway. It's AI-driven NIS2 Mastermind program. So it's a fast track to success. The whole learning experience will be AI powered. Then we will show you AI-based marketing. We'll give you our exact formula. We'll also give you how to automate using AI-driven tools. And the cost of this mastermind program is 6,000 as a startup price. Starting price are more than 25,000. I have done this kind of mastermind in the business world for 25,000, but I know that engineers and experts don't earn as much money as business owners do. Like business owners, AI program, you usually easily end up paying 25,000, but I want to offer this for 6,000 for at least for the starting batch. It will be an AI-powered NIST learning system, a proven marketing scripts and LinkedIn automation, and all those to get your client. And we'll also the most important thing is creating content, how you spread yourself with content, how to put content. Content is the king. When people know you, you're already sold. You don't have to sell anything. This is the advantage. Although I said that I started late, but I'm so glad that I started in 2014 putting content in the internet. When I go to a room, most of the time I'm already sold. They know me. That's why they're in the room with me. They just want to sign the contract with me. So please use that advantage. So create content and step-by-step AI-based execution template and access to our tools too. Those are paid tools. So those will, since we're still developing, the lab is not quite clear, but we'll show you all those. So yeah, so I'm gonna just give all my mistakes done in the last 20 years. Hey, you're gonna learn these things in weeks. So that's the thing. So here's what I want you to do. If you want to go with us, you can actually just take the lesson from this webinar again and do things on your own. You will be successful, I guarantee you, if you do this. But if you want someone to hold your hand, and this will actually, probably you need to work 6 months to get to where we are. But this is going to give you this whole mastermind program is going to give you a quick start. In a couple of weeks, you can start. So unlock the AI-driven NIST consulting. So the early access of the training will cost you less, AI-based marketing, and we want you to get here. 6-figure income, at least, being an AI NIS2 consultant. So we have a wait list. I encourage you to join the wait list if you're interested. And whenever we launch, you will have the early access privilege because you joined the wait list. So I'm open to any question if you have any. So feel free to join if you're interested. We plan to launch in April, May, but can't promise. This is really a lot of work. Our team is working tirelessly. This is such a field doing AI-driven consultancy. Thank God that we're actually overwhelmed with our geeks. So it's better than having nothing to do, and also reduced our team size because we want to be efficient. All right. Any question?
If I may ask, I think, well, by most technical, we focus too much on tech. I fully agree with all this. I think, from my point of view, a main thing is to identify the main deliverable. If you get the company in your face and you analyze and you need to the deliverables, and that is something. Where would you see thing to identify what this company really needs to get from you delivered to fill the gaps to comply with the NIS2 law?
Great question. So the question is, We have a couple of more interesting questions. I'm coming to that. Bear with us. But mass question is very important. Question is, how do you identify the gap? What do I have to do in order for a particular company to get it to NIS2 compliance? That's the right question, right? I understood it right.
Yes, how do you and where in this list would you see this important activity? Yes.
Yes. Like, first of all, this list is not about, NIST compliance, this is not present. This is usually this is technical question, and most of the technical experts are good at technicality because they're technical experts. Here are they're like they focus too much on the technicality. That's the mistake. They do not think about the marketing, scaling, and other things. That's what I was trying to do in the list. And if you ask me, if you how do you do a gap analysis, this is like the process is called gap analysis. You look at what they have. What are their assets? The first thing is to identify their assets, asset identification. What do you have to protect? If they have any protection mechanism, that's the second step. If they don't have the second protection mechanism, that's your gap, and you illustrate those gap. And the third thing is, which is actually new and unprecedented in this, is continuous monitoring of cybersecurity events. And there are very few, and in Europe, who has that. In a small company anyway, not. So that's again your this is your skill come into play. You will be the guy who will monitor, and they'll pay you monthly subscription for that. This is where you make money. So that's how of the entire gap analysis process is something that is much more vast than this, but that's the idea of it. And you're right, that part is not reflected in this list, but because technical experts are good at it anyway. So the list is about what they don't have, why they fail.
So I have a couple of questions. The first question that comes to my mind is, if I have to sum up this whole presentation that you did today, is it about like creating a funnel, or is it like creating a solution, AI-driven solution? You start learning from early phase, learning about the niche to, and then how to reach the clients, then how to generate the leads. It's all about the funnel, creating funnel, yeah? The second
It
question is,
Yeah, go on.
okay, yeah, okay. And the second question is like, if we talk about the niche to, it's like we have to manage a lot of things like the business continuity part, risk management part, supply chain management, cyber hygiene, training, a lot of things. And for all those processes, we need to like have the proper, yeah, processes, procedures, creating reports, all these things, doing the gap analysis, risk management again, how to do the risk management thing. It requires a lot of things the niche to. So for a guy like I'm learning, I know bunch of regulations and things, but I'm not able to like single-handedly do all these things, or cannot like do the good reporting part, create the good documents and all these things. So how can I leverage all these things with the using this AI? Because for the companies, they have their own own writing standards, processes and procedures. So how can I leverage these things with the AI?
Great question. Great question. So you have two questions. I think I'll start with the second question because there is another question from Chandan. Chandan's prerequisite for this training. So that goes along with your second question. So yeah, I agree. NIST is a vast topic, and with your geek, you'll probably go with one aspect of it. You will probably consult in one or two aspects of it, sometimes three, and you will have to work as a community. Sometimes, like cybersecurity monitoring experts will have to work as monitoring experts, and compliance expert, like gap analysis, they'll work as gap analysis experts. In this mastermind program, we also want to build a community where you'll have access to other experts who can actually work together with you. So that's the question. And with your background, I think you have the perfect background to go for this. And this is where Chandan's question come in. That Chandan, the prerequisite is like you do not have to have any vast cybersecurity background, but some technical background or even process background is important. Even if you have technical background, you can be a NIS2 consultant, but then you will have to work more on the compliance side, not on the monitoring side. Things get very technical when you have to do cybersecurity, event monitoring, and all those. This gets a bit technical. So there will be some parts of it, but with having no technical knowledge can become a NIS2 consultant and can make six-figure. If you're technical, maybe you will go and work on the other part of a spectrum a bit more versus who's absolutely non-technical. So to answer your question in one sentence, there is no prerequisite. It's for everyone. Any other question?
It's about, say, the top few of organization. As I understand, this is one way to become an expert in this by going for the master thing during the next couple of months or half a year, no matter how long it takes. And what about the idea that the Matrickz org or the program has already
Yeah.
the experience with clients, and
Yeah.
after the training of some people, not thinking about having an internal contract to we got the client, you got the knowledge, and we send you to the client, and you can come back to us for specific gaps if you need some support, and we find a solution. And so you do the job, but we are in the background, and kind of win-win situation.
Absolutely. This is the step that we talked about. This is a program that about in our previous webinar.
Yes.
And we want to do that. The idea is we want to launch the mastermind program first, and then from the mastermind program, we want to see who we want to work with, because this is going to be a very close collaboration. Mastermind program is open to all, right? But we will be selective about that, partner program, and we want to choose from the partner program with our, like, when we'll be working for 2-3 months in the partner program. Then we will get to know each other, and then we'll choose, okay, we'll offer a selected handful. If they're interested, they can work as a partner. And as a partner, it will be both way. It'll be it'll be, you will be coming up with, we'll teach you how to get client, you'll get client, and you'll be able to use our logo. So there'll be much more closer collaboration.
Sure. Fully understand it, and fully reasonable. Thank you for this.
Fantastic. So I mean, we to launch it in May, and hopefully, then there is a question for Nagarjun. Please go ahead.
Okay. Hi, Hasan. What is this partner program?
Okay.
And we need to do first a master program, and later we need to enroll for partner program. Is it like that?
No, you don't have to enroll for partner program. Okay. So the partner program is a program where we will have some of the consultants working very closely with us as an extended team of Matrickz. So we'll also find out clients, and you'll be executing, you'll be using our templates, our tools to execute. That's the partner program. And we want to launch the partner program after the first batch of the mastermind program, and we will offer some of those top performing people in the mastermind program, hey, would you like to be our partner? If you become our partner, you will get this, and we will work together like this. So that will be a different program after the mastermind program.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. If any other question? If not, then let me ask you a question. How many of you have signed up for the waitlist? So the waitlist is, not a binding thing that you don't pay anything, you don't have to do anything. We just want to see how many people are interested. Usually, 70% of the waitlist people end up signing up, 30% don't. That's our experience. So, feel free to, if you're interested, feel give us an idea. Okay, we have like 20 interested people or 50 interested people. We'll have some idea. So if you sign up for the wait list, and I'll take one last question maybe for today. Unless you have more, I'm open to stay as long as you need. But one last question before we close. Anybody?
Sorry for bothering again.
No, I like it. I like.
Yeah, okay. A rough idea about timing. I mean, this will take some time to get used to all that, and it's not done over the weekend. But roughly, what happens, say, in fall, October, December? Is there any idea of timing? Is that very open?
You mean starting our mastermind program? The timing?
No, the starting. I mean, this clear. This mastermind program takes make it in the proper way. It takes some time. May, June, it's okay. But if people start to actually train with this master program, what is your expectation that people? What time will they need? What is your realistic take here? Is it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months until you pass? And
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
this is
Got
one
the
part of the question. And after that, the whole top view of serving potential clients with who fill the gaps, identify, apply all that knowledge, maybe by end of the year or next year. That's the second question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Here's what like look is making money than anything, right? So how to do that? So the program we plan for 3 months. Yeah, and after 3 months there will be still mentorship available, but 3 months is really the thing that you will do. So from day one, what you will start with two things. Day one, you will start with your NIS technical program where you will gain NIS knowledge. And number two is content and outreach from day one. So you will start these things. You'll learn and start implementing these things. Hopefully within 3 months, within the program, you will have your first gig signed. That's the idea. Because otherwise, what's the point? Now, you may ask, okay, in 3 months, will I be an expert of NIS? You may not be. He may not be. That's why I said this program is more about making money, and you may have to subcontract. So let me give you some of my own experience. I think I had the business DNA from day one. So when I was a student, I was taking geeks, programming geeks. And this is how I landed actually in automotive. Sometimes I had exam, and I don't have any time for it. So the guy was paying me $30 an hour. Back then I worked for a very cheap price, $30 an hour. And I hired another student and paid $15 an hour and got the work done. The work was done. I could study for my exam. And the customer was happy too. I could keep the customer as well. So this is like the business brain we want to give you, how to execute. So execution, like I said, the execution part with knowledge and everything, that's the commodity part. Here, the main part is the market. How do you put yourself as a figure that people will trust and give you the work? And once the work is given, we'll also show you the formula. Before you are fully ready, how can you also take help of others to execute? That's number one. Number two, another story. Let me share another story. Let me ask you this question. How long do you think it took me to prepare this presentation? Can you write in the chat? Just give me your guess. 2 days. All right. So John, you have a question. I'm coming to you. Let me just do this experiment. 35 hours. 35 hours.
I tried to put 5 hours, but
4 hours. Okay. So some people are still typing, but I got it. I mean, the lowest I've got 35 hours. Sorry, 5 hours. 4 hours was the lowest. And I'm being honest to you, dead honest to you. And I have a witness who's Jenny, who knows when I started it. I needed 15 minutes to prepare this presentation. 15 minutes. And let me tell you how I did it. Of course, I thought it through. I had the idea. I knew what I'm going to say. The ideas were there. What I did, I took my cell phone, started the GPT app and started talking to it. That this is my idea. I want to talk about 3 things, which is learning, which is the second one is marketing, content and content creation and all those. The third one is execution, and all using AI, leveraging AI. And I want you to talk about the total addressable market size, how many companies are affected, and all those. I told him and create PowerPoint slides for me. There were like 2-3 iteration. I had the slides, and then I copied and pasted in Gamma, the Gamma app, and voila, that was ready. So now what you are writing here, that's the traditional way of thinking. What I want you to do is get out of this traditional way of thinking. 2 days are now 20 minutes. This is the reality. I still have like my clients who say, okay, I have to prepare this. I need 2 weeks. That just drives me nuts when they say this. They're not living in the reality. This is going to hit them. You know, there was this amazing saying that in Africa, a lion wakes up. The lion knows if he's not running faster than the slowest gazelle, then the lion is starving. And when a gazelle wakes up, the gazelle knows that if the gazelle is not running faster than the fastest lion, it's dead. So now, no matter what you are, a gazelle or a lion, you have to run faster than your competitors. Here is the problem that nobody is realizing. The lion and the gazelle, they just became 1,000 times faster. And you have to be 1,000 times faster. And it's no kidding. I did this in 15 minutes, which none of you could even fathom. The lowest is 4 hours. So that's the idea. That's the idea I want to take. Everything has been so much easier, and this thing called AI, let's leverage it and let's make money before it's too late. That's my message. All right. Any other question? I like that, Max.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. I had a question. Okay.
Yes.
So within this AI-driven system, what will be the role of a human? So will it be in the part of verification of the things what we get from the AI system, or where will you think like the human will be used more often?
Let me answer this in several cases. Let's talk about cybersecurity first. When you will be a NIS1 consultant, NIS2 consultant, you will have some liability. You know, you're consulting. Now, if you're liable, you will not trust the AI 100%. You will do review, you will cross-check to make sure that whatever you're telling is true. So that's one human role in engineering. Now, in marketing, the role is exactly what I'm doing. Instead of me, everything is created by AI. If AI would have said this, you guys wouldn't have listened, right? And AI, there will be AI influencers too. AI influencers was going to also take out the branding thing, but the branding part is still you. So you'll have to create your brand. That's another human thing. Having said that, let me also highlight a prediction that's not only from me, also from Yuval Noah Harari, that even those things will at one point taken over by AI. You know, it will be a certified system for cybersecurity, safety, ISO 26262 for, you know, certified AI certified system, and AI do everything. What will be our role? We'll invent our new role. But as for now, in the next 2-3 years, we have this tremendous opportunity, because I guarantee you that more than 99% of the people are thinking exactly the way you're thinking. 2 days, 35 hours, 1 day, 4 hours, less than a day, 35 hours, and so on. But it's not. So if you, in the next 2-3 years, leverage it, you will be way ahead. If you're a gazelle, no lion will be able to get you. And if you're a lion, you will be never starving. All right. So in that case, I invite you again to join the waitlist. Thank you so much for joining. If you have any more question, I'm always available. The easiest way to reach me is LinkedIn DM, because this is what I personally answer, and I almost answer all LinkedIn DM if it doesn't really unintentionally gets lost. So I try to at least answer all of them, and it's not AI, that I can tell you.
Okay, thank you so much for so much thinking outside of the box. It's incredible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great evening.
I want to congratulate all of you who stayed till the end of this masterclass. Very well done. Now, I want you to take some action, because end of the day, it's all about executions. These ideas, this adrenaline that you have out of this masterclass, this excitement is not going to bring you anything unless you take some action. I want you to join the waitlist of this mastermind program that I'm hosting and start making money as a NIST consultant. The sky is the limit. Join the waitlist now.